Justin was singing.
Huh?
Justin was singing.
Okay. Y'all didn't get enough of it this morning in music?
We didn't do anything.
No, we just
Okay,
sat
all right.
there.
We sat there for 30 minutes.
All right. Your focus statement today. You do have to write this focus statement today because I did not put it for you on that paper. At the very top of page 30, you need to write, I can convert between mixed numbers and improper fractions. I can convert between mixed numbers and improper fractions. I know that some of you may remember doing this right before you got out for COVID vacation last year, but many of you probably do not remember doing this at all, okay? Your classmates that I had this morning had no recollection of doing this at all, okay? Once we started doing it, a few of them remembered doing this. I'm not sure if they remembered it from 4th grade or last year, but it's not that big a deal if you don't remember it when I start, okay? Because you're going to catch on. This is not a very hard thing for you to learn how to do. The first thing that we're going to do, everybody should have a paper that looks like this. And I want you to tape it on the right side, okay? And we are going to start with mixed numbers, okay? Because we're going to make mixed numbers mad. Let me give you a second to take that in. Sorry.
It's okay.
Oh, it's wrong thing. All right. I'm going to go through this example right here on your paper. 7 1/4. And fractions do not like it when the top number is bigger than the bottom number, okay? When the top number is bigger than the bottom number, they do not like it. They prefer to be a mixed number. A mixed number is when we have a whole number with a fraction, okay? It's a mixture, whole number and a fraction. Now, if we want to make a mixed number mad, we turn it into an improper fraction. And we're going to do that by using a C, okay, like this. M, we're going to make it mad. You see that's what it says right here, M-A-D. The first step is to multiply 4 times 7. What is 4 times 7? 28. Then we're going to add 4 times 7 is 28 plus 1 is 29. That number is our numerator, our top number, okay? And D tells us the denominator stays the same. We don't change the bottom number. Multiply, add, denominator stays the same. So when we have an improper, a mixed number, and we want to change it to an improper fraction, we're going to make it mad. Multiply, add, denominator stays the same, okay? So I've given you some examples down here at the bottom. And some of you may have room to work down here, but if not, use the left side of your journal. I'm going to write them up here just so they are easier to see, all right? So the first one is 4 and 5/6. Let's do this one together. We're going to do our C like this, and we're going to make our mixed number mad. The first thing we need to do is the M, which is multiply. 6 times 4 is 24. Add 5, 24 plus 5 is 29. Denominator stays the same. which is what?
6.
6. M-A-D. Multiply, add, denominator. Okay? So let's do the next one. We've got 7 and 2/5. If you are somebody that does not know your multiplication facts, you might want to get your multiplication chart out because that will help you. Because if you don't know them, y'all, I'm not sitting here waiting for you to count on your fingers, okay? We've got to keep going. This is a skill that you should have already mastered. All right, the multiplication facts, that is. We're going to draw our C, multiply 5. Did that look like a multiplication symbol? 5 times 7 is 35. Plus 2 is 37. Denominator stays the same. So we keep a 5. Let's do 6 and 1/12. What am I going to do?
You multiply 12 by 6.
12 times 6 is what?
72.
72. Plus 1 is?
73.
And what's my denominator? 12. I want you to work on this middle column, and I'm going to come around and check your work, okay? I want you to work on the middle column. All right, 9 times 3 is 27. Plus 7 is 34. What's my denominator? 9. 8 times 2 is 16. Plus 5 is 21. What's my denominator? 8. 7 times 8 is
56.
plus 5 is
61.
what's my denominator?
7.
7. All right, I want you to do that last column right here. Y'all, you've got to put forth some effort. Those of y'all that are sitting there like a knot on a log, you're hurting no one but yourself. Five times 1 is, plus 1 is,
The second one was easy.
I know.
And I just realized that they're all, well, mad.
Now they're all mad.
I never realized. 34 over 9, I didn't notice. 21 over 8, I didn't notice.
5 times 1 is,
5.
plus 1 is,
6.
8 times 10 is,
80.
plus 3 is,
83.
what's my denominator?
8.
2 times 2 is,
4,
plus 1 is,
5,
what's my denominator?
2.
2. All right, check your work. All right, now, when we have an improper fraction, remember I told you fractions don't like for the top number to be bigger than the bottom number, okay? So we've got to make an improper fraction glad. Being glad means that you're happy, okay? It's the way you want to be, all right? So if we have an improper fraction, like 6/5 or 83/8 or 5/2, those are not happy fractions because the top number is bigger than the bottom number. They don't like to be that way. So we are going to make them glad by turning them into mixed numbers. So I'm going to do the example that it gave you. And the first step, we are going to go divide, leave that number as the whole number, always put the remainder as your numerator, and your denominator stays the same. All right? So, go divide. 29 divided by 4 is, how many can you get out of that?
7.
7. Always write that number as your whole number. So, 4 times 7 is, y'all, what's 4 times 7?
28.
So how many are left over?
1.
1. Always put the remainder as the numerator and the denominator stays the same. Okay? So let's try that first column together. First step, go divide. 6 will go into 15. How many whole times?
Twice.
Twice. How many are left over? What's 2 times 6?
12.
12. So 15 minus 12 is
3.
3. Always put the remainder as the numerator. The denominator does what? Stays the same. What can we do with 3/6?
Simplify it.
To what?
2. 2/3. Wait.
1/2. 3 will go into 3 one time. 3 will go into 6 2 times. Let's try the next one. We've got 17 halves. How many times will 2 go into 17?
It goes in 8.
What's your remainder?
1.
Always put your remainder on the top and your denominator stays the
7.
same. How many times will 12 go into 50?
6. Wait. Oh, wait. No. It'll be 5.
4.
Oh.
Because 4 times 12 is
48.
48. How many are left over?
2.
2. What's my denominator?
12.
12. Can I simplify 2 12ths?
Yeah.
What can I divide by?
2.
2 divided by 2 is 12 divided by 2 is
6.
6. All right, this, I want you to work on this middle column right here. I want to see you working on your paper, y'all. If you leave your paper blank and you have nothing there, y'all, I can't help you. You are going to have an assignment from this. many times will 9 go into 47?
9 goes into 47. 4.
5. Because 5 times 9 is,
45.
so how many are left over?
2.
2. And my denominator stays the same. Okay? Now, 52 divided by 3. How many people could do that in their head? I don't think anybody could. So, we're going to go over here to the side. 3 will go into 5 how many times? 1 times 3 is?
3.
How many times will 3 go into 22?
6. Wait. Right in a 7.
7 times 3 is?
21.
So, how many times will 3 go into 52?
7. 17.
17. With how many left over?
1.
And what's my denominator?
3.
How many times will 2 go into 9?
4.
4 times 2 is?
8.
So how many are left over?
1.
And what's my denominator?
2.
All right, I want you to work on the last column.
Wait.
I'm not doing a color by number, so I'm doing
Oh, wait, I know.
these.
Math terms. It was just like a maze. I was thinking like, oh, this.
Gotta find the right path.
I never liked those. I never liked numbers.
But do I make a color?
No.
Well, if y'all don't like the maze, then we can just do all of them instead of finding your path.
We're talking about a maze.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I like the baby.
And if you get bored, you can
All right, let's look at the first one. 21 fifths. How many times will 5 go into 21? 4. 4 times 5 is?
20.
So how many are left over?
1.
1. My denominator is
5.
5. 62 tenths. How many times will 10 go into 62?
6.
6. 6 times 10 is? 60. So how many are left over?
2.
Now, can I simplify my 2 tenths?
Yes.
What can I divide by?
2.
2 divided by 2 is?
1.
10 divided by 2 is?
5.
27 fourths. How many times will 4 go into 27?
3. I'm at 6.
6. 6 times 4 is?
24.
So how many are left over?
3.
All right, check your work. All right, I want you to put your pencil down and I want to talk about the exit ticket for a second, okay? I don't want you to click on anything on your iPad because I want your pencils to be down, all right? Everybody's pencils need to be down right now. Now, when I was doing the exit ticket for today's lesson, it was difficult for me to get the fraction to look the right way, okay? I got very frustrated. I almost wrote them down on paper and then attached them as a picture in my handwriting because I got a little frustrated because it does look a little wonky, okay? So, if this is your fraction, 4 6/7, before you do your work, you need to rewrite it like that, okay? Before you can do your work, and there are 2. 4 6/7 and 12 and 1/4. Okay, do y'all see that right here? You can kind of see it the right way after I show it to you like this. And maybe I should have handwritten them and put it in as a picture, but I didn't. So I'm hoping that this will help. Okay, all right? So, what I want you to do now